The number of Americans applying for education loans almost doubled last year. So RT's Gaine Chichikan went to meet those who have found that handing over piles of hard-earned cash for education, well, it rarely pays off.
Many of these students decided that higher education is not worth the expense. They dropped out of school to work on their own projects. Silicon Valley billionaire pt3 pays them $100,000 to do that. He himself believes higher education in the U.S. is vastly overrated.
This is the one thing people still really believe in our society, and to question the value of education is like questioning the existence of Santa Claus with 3-year-old kids or something like that. And while we're not trying to scare the children here or anything like that, we do think that we cannot afford to have a third bubble in this country.
Universities and colleges are hiking their prices at an unprecedented rate. According to the Federal Reserve, student loan debt in the U.S. stands at $1.3 trillion. At the rate that it's now growing, by 2018, it will exceed $2 trillion. When a student walks out of school owing a 6-digit amount, unable to find a high-paying job, they begin to question, how bad of an investment did they make?
I currently owe over $100,000, really over $140,000. You know, I took a gamble, decided to, pursue the postgraduate degree that I wanted to pursue, and yeah, and unfortunately it didn't necessarily pay off.
It didn't pay off for millions of other Americans.
There's something like 17 million people in the labor force who have college degrees and are basically doing unskilled work.
But should higher education be a gamble with such high stakes?
It's absolutely outrageous that you'd want to saddle up your young people who, during their most innovative years, the time when they're learning to figure out where they can best produce and earn a living and contribute to society, that you're going to try to load them up with debt so that their options are narrowed. It's self-destructive.
President Obama has recently offered to make 2 years of community college free. Many people cheered because it may seem that the government is doing something. But critics argue that community college, which now costs around $3,000 a year, was already relatively affordable for Americans. The president's offer does little to address the skyrocketing prices that higher education colleges and universities are charging. In fact, it might give them an excuse to further raise their prices. In Washington, I'm Ganesh Chekyan, RT.
Thanks for joining us live here on RT International today. Next, take a disturbing look at the highly profitable business of global spying. Here comes the NSA.